Hello, my name is Bethany, and welcome to my channel, These Thoughts. Today I am doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm not 100% sure why it's called that, because I'm doing pretty good on my reading goals. I can't complain. So this year I only set for myself 82, but due to quarantine life, I have read, as of today, June 11th, I have read 50. So I am 15 books over where I'm supposed to be in this time of year. It's not much of a freak out. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I am going to go over the questions though. It seemed like a fun tag. It seemed like fun to do. A lot of people are doing it and I thought I would join. So the very first question is the best book you've read so far in 2020. There's a lot. I was looking through my list that I've read so far and there was quite a few that have been really good this year. I couldn't choose one. So I chose Five. Love Lettering by Kate Claiborne was so poetic and beautiful and well written. And I loved Meg and Reed. They were such a great couple. So they're definitely a contender for best book so far. Tweet Cute. I can't remember the names on hand. I'll put it up over here. Tweet Cute was so precious and adorable, and I love the social media component. I feel like there's people who do social media components in books and don't do it well, or they don't actually know how to social media, and I'm like, do you even know how to tweet? And this did it so well and rips off the fact that now that social media reps get snarky with each other through the fast food chains and stuff. So it kind of plays off that and it does it really well, and it was just so absolutely precious. The other top contender for my best book so far in 2020 is going to be Beach Read by Emily Henry. The banter was just so good, and the chemistry between January and Gus was so well done. It's definitely a contender for sure. And the last one I put for my best book of 2020 is Jane Eyre, which really shouldn't count because it's a reread, but I'm including it anyway because it's still one of my all-time favorite books, even though it was a reread, it still remains at the top, so I'm keeping it there. Best sequel you've read in 2020 is definitely going to be Muse and Nightmares by Laini Taylor. And oh man, I loved that book so much. I just thought it was so gorgeously written. I think it helped that I read them back to back. I don't know if I would have liked it as much if I hadn't read them back to back, because I was able to tell, the story was it's really all one book, even though it's a duology. So it read really fluidly when going from one book to the next. Definitely such a great conclusion to the duology. Really, really well done. And I think the second one's going to be A Torch Against the Night by Sabah Tahir. And I was a little bit worried that the sequel wasn't going to be as good because you never know how sequels are going to go. But I really liked the second book, and it makes me really excited for the third one. It tends to be that books, especially epic fantasy type stuff, when they go on a journeys can be really dull and really boring and really long, and this didn't feel like that. I felt like even though they were on a journey and traveling a lot, things kept moving and things kept happening, and I really appreciated that. Next question is new release you haven't read but want to. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I had a heck of a time getting the book because of an order that went terribly wrong getting mailed to my house, which was unfortunate, but I am still super stoked to read it, even though I've been avoiding reviews, they've been they're landmines, I'm just dodging here and there, trying not to read any of them. But I really still want to read it, and I want to decide for myself how it is. So I'm still here for it. I'm still excited about it. The most anticipated release for the second half of the year, I think I'm going to say A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabah Tahir. I haven't read book 3, but I'm still excited for how the series is going to go. So, because I really have liked book 1 and 2 so far. That's An Ember in the Ashes series. So yeah, I think it's going to be, that comes out in December, and I am totally here for it. Biggest disappointment of this year so far. So I have a few. A totally random thing that I got was autobiography called Mosaic by Amy Grant. And Amy Grant is a singer-songwriter that I absolutely idolized her growing up. I've seen a couple of her concerts, and she is her songs have always really connected with me. I thought her autobiography was really cool and really neat and really poetic, and it was really poetic, but it was literally a mosaic. Like there were like tiny pieces here and there of little things that happened in her life, like little like screenshots, snapshots of her life, which was cute, but like I wanted just a little bit more. It was a little bit disappointing. And like a lot of her poems were literally lyrics from her songs. And I already know her whole discography. Why would I need to know her lyrics to her songs? Which she read, which was also weird. Lyrics to your songs that I'm used to hearing you sing, and then you read them. The cool thing is that I read that, listened to the audiobook of this, so she narrates her own book, which is great, and that makes it more enjoyable. I think I did that with listening to Tina Fey as well as listening to Amy Poehler, but it just was missing something for me. The lineup, my Megan Quinn. So I was really excited about the lineup. I don't know why. I just think that the cover, it was when I just decided to try another Megan Quinn book. I don't know why. I think I read like a really quick excerpt and it sounded really cute and I thought I'd go for it. And oh man, it was super disappointing. The reason I wanted to do the lineup is because she's also like a CEO woman. So I thought that would be really cool to see again. Except she's called like this badass in the boardroom and she literally does nothing. You never see her working or doing anything. The whole time she's just whiny. And that just really annoyed me because if she's supposed to be a badass in the boardroom, then I want to see her being a badass in the boardroom. And then the hero from the lineup, oh my God, he was so obnoxious. He was so obnoxious. I'm making it seem like I gave it like a 1 or 2 star, and I really didn't. I gave it a 3. There was still like 2.5. There was still several parts that I did like, but it was just really disappointing because I thought it was going to be better than it was. As well as Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. Anything that's supposed to be Little Mermaid. I mean, granted, I technically started that book in 2018, but I'm going to count it as a great disappointment because it still is. Anything that should be a Little Mermaid retelling should be good. It just should be good, and it was not. So yeah, those are definitely my biggest disappointments for 2020 so far. My biggest surprises, I have 2. Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert. So I started her Wicked Villain series last year with Desperate Measures, which I liked. And then I read Learn My Lesson, and it was so good. It was so much better. And it was about a threesome, which I never read. I don't like that trope at all. Menage a trois are not my thing. But Katie Roberts writes them so well. And I actually feel invested in all 3 of them. Yes, there's something about them. And I think that was the biggest surprise for me, that I enjoyed it as much as I did. Even though the only way you could get me to read threesome romances is make it Disney. Because it was a threesome relationship between Hades, Hercules, and Meg, and it was really enjoyable. And I've read 2 other threesome books from Katie Roberts, so obviously I'm trusting her with that trope, but I don't think I'm still going to read anybody else with threesomes right now so far. But definitely a big surprise for me how much I really enjoyed that book, as well as Scrooge McFuck by May Sage, which I talked about in my Contemporary-a-thon wrap-up, which I can link up above, and you can hear all about that. Just the title alone, it cracked me up, and it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I read the excerpt, so I knew going in that I thought it was going to be, I thought good vibes from it, but not with that kind of title. I didn't think I'd get that. So yes, also a delightful surprise of something I didn't expect to read that I also enjoyed. My favorite new author. So actually, funnily enough, all of these authors are inspired by the book club that I've been doing with the Christina Lauren fan group on Facebook. And that would be Kate Claiborne, K.A. Tucker, and Amy Harmon. I read Love Lettering, A Simple Wild, and Where the Lost Wander. I liked all 3 of them, and I definitely want to read more from them in the future. Newest fictional crush would have to be, I have a couple. I can't just choose one, guys. That limits me. Evan from A Girl Like Her by Talia Hibbert. He was such a cinnamon roll and so sweet and so understanding and patient. I just really liked him. He kind of made an assumption that kind of messed things up for Ruth a little bit for a hot second. But overall, like the way that he just picks up her little nuances and works with her on them was just so precious and so adorable, and I really loved seeing that. And then also Reed from Love Lettering, he just the letter that he writes at the end to Meg is everything. I could reread that all the time. So top letter of all time, love letter of all time in any book is going to be Char from Prince Char from Ella Enchanted. Even though it's for 12-year-olds, it's still the best professing of their love letter. Prince Char, number one. But dang, Reed from Love Lettering gets really close. Like, it's like a hot second, like right there. It's such a great letter. And I'm a sucker for epistle novels, and I'm a sucker for love letters. So Reed, absolutely. I think that he just is really precious, and I really like his connection with Meg too. I think the next one's going to be Kai from The Bride Test by Helen Hong. Kai is really just super adorable. I also just love the autistic representation. I think he's portrayed so well. And my absolute favorite scene from the whole entire book is when his brother and his cousin are teaching Kai how he's supposed to know that a woman orgasms, and it's brilliantly done. And so I had me listening to it on audio, cracking up laughing. He just wants to try so hard and be there for her, and it's be there for Esme, and it's just really cute. Those would be my newest fictional crushes. Newest fave character? I chose two. But the reason I did is because I couldn't choose one. And they're gonna be Charlie and Nick from Heartstopper. Like, I love their characters so much. I was trying to think of like any heroine that I really connected with or anything like that from this year, and nothing really stood out to me. But Charlie and Nick, absolutely. Nick is such a cinnamon roll, Charlie is such an overthinker, and they're just super cute. Definitely new favorite characters for sure. The next prompt is a book that made you cry. I can't think of a book has made me like sob cry. That doesn't, I mean, but like teared up and like maybe had like a tear or two. There's been a few, but the two that I could think of specifically were The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker and Beach Read by Emily Henry, mostly because those two talk about grief. I've had some personal loss happen to me recently, so that really resonated with me. So of course it made me feel feelings. And so yeah, so I wouldn't say that like I was like sobbing, crying, but definitely like misty-eyed, tear. And a book that made you happy. It's funny, I looked at my books that I've read over the last year, and a lot of them had like, even some of the romance I've read have had like heavy hitting issues. Like Beach Read, great read, really enjoyed, but there's a lot about grief, and it's kind of has dark moments. And Simple Wild, same thing. And Where the Lost Wander, same thing. Not that they're bad, but just that there's like a little bit like there's some darker sides to some of the stuff that I've read. And I mean, I've read like light stuff, but not something that I would say that would make me happy. But I think these two are what I'm going with, which is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I'm so sorry. I do not know how to pronounce that. I'm so bad at names, guys. It was just so cute, the connection between the two characters, and it navigated the interracial relationship really well, and I really appreciated that. There was something just really like them meeting in the elevator, connecting, going to the wedding together, and then kind of doing a long distance thing. Like, there was just something really genuine and pure about it, and it was probably one of the lighter reads that I've read this year that just was delightful. It was just so super cute. I definitely want to continue with more of the series. And the next one being just making me happy was Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman. I mean, Neil Gaiman can write on a paper bag, and it probably would make me happy. He just has this great way with storytelling. Fortunately, The Milk was about a dad who goes on an adventure while he's trying to get his children milk, and he tells his children about it when he gets home. And this is really dorky of me, guys. I'm actually a huge milk drinker. I drink milk every day because I'm a child. So the fact that he goes through everything to save milk makes me absolutely delightful. Absolutely happy. I'm a dork. Anyway, moving on. The next prompt is the most beautiful book you bought this year, which I'm going to grab because I can't not. I've shown this book probably 100 times already. The Betrothed. I just don't feel like the camera captures how gorgeous this cover is. And I'm not really about book cover aesthetics very often, but it is so, like, it sparkles. It sparkles. It's just so pretty. It's just so gorgeous, this cover. I mean, can you see the no, I can't get the sparkles. Oh, kind of saw. See like the shimmer, like right there? It's all over the cover. It's just so pretty. And then I'm always a sucker for a map. Anyway, gorgeous book. I also really think this cover is really gorgeous too. I mean, it's typical like Hunger Games type but just how understated it is. Yeah, I just think it's a really, really great cover as well. And how it just fits in with the rest of the series. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I started the Red Queen series. I love the Red Queen. I loved the first book. I thought it was going somewhere. I thought it was really great. And then the next two books have just been huge disappointments. And I know that Warstorm is going to be another huge disappointment because look at this. What is this nonsense? Everyone I've seen reviews for have said similar things and have said that it just drags and drags and drags, and then literally just everything happens in the last 100 pages, which has been the last two books as well, and I hate that. I hate it so much. Don't just have nothing happen for a billion years. Don't do that. Just have things happen. I need to read it. I want to finish I mean, look at the print. It's so tiny. I want to read and finish the series. I want to finish the series. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm not going to keep the series. I own it, but I'm probably not going to keep it. I'm probably going to get rid of it. Because I don't keep books of series that disappoint me. If the series ends positively or the series ends well, then I keep the series. But if it ends terribly, I don't want the series because I won't reread them, even no matter how good the first book is. Yes, I said that. Strong statement. I don't know. I'm going to have to spend like literally a month. There's just going to be a month where I'm sorry, I'm not going to post anything new. I'm just going to be reading this thing the whole time. What's some of your fave book community members? There's so many people that I've been really enjoying watching. I mean, I always love my OG booktubers that I kind of started reading right off the get-go was Ginger Reads Laney and Riley Marie, because they used to host Smuttathon. That was kind of how I first started finding them. And then Chelsea Dolian Reads, I found from them. I kind of found through them. My fave watches that I've been doing lately is going to be Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I just really have been appreciating her. She's been really taking a stand against a lot of the stuff that's happening, really fighting for Black Lives Matter, especially considering she has biracial boys and I'm in an interracial marriage myself. We read a lot of the similar things. She does YA, fantasy, romance, and that's kind of what I do. I kind of do a mix of all three. So I am really enjoying watching her stuff. And then Steph reads romance. She does strictly romance books, and I've been really enjoying getting to know her channel. And she always has some really interesting recommendations, some interesting insights in what she reads. I'm really excited. She's doing a vlog for the Hunger Games series, and I really want to see her thoughts on that, which is why I have to read the new one so I can catch up on what she thinks of it. Another one's Bookish Realm, which is Ashley. I've been really enjoying her stuff, and she hosted a town hall about Black Lives Matter and racism on BookTube, which was really, really interesting and really helpful, and I really appreciated hearing her perspective and learning more about that, because I've only been on BookTube for a hot minute, and I want to make sure that I educate myself in racism in all ways, including BookTube. Someone I've just been getting to be friendly with on Twitter as well as BookTube is Rachel from Let Me in the Library, which I think is a really fun, cute channel name, and she just has her editing is just super awesome. I don't know how she does it, and she does a great job, and it's fun to watch, and I've been really enjoying some of her videos as well. But yeah, so those are the things people I've been watching and been enjoying. But everyone has something interesting to say. I've been enjoying what everyone has to say, really. That's it. That's the mid-year book freakout tag. That was kind of fun. Just going over what I read for the last year and thinking about some of the stuff that I read and gearing up for the rest of my year. Let me know what you think of the books that I mentioned. Let me know if you read any of them. Let me know what your best book read in 2020 has been so far. If you like this video, please subscribe and like and hit the bell and all the whistles and follow me on all the social medias that I listed below. I have a new Bookstagram, so you can add me on that too. This is my channel, Theni's Thoughts. My name is Bethany. Thank you so much for watching my video and have a good rest of your day. Bye!